Secondly, I would say it has a, a physio spiritual kind of impact. Like they say that when you have sex with someone, you kind of become one with the person. So depending on how, or should I say, depending on how close you were on the relationship, so you begin to think like that person. You sometimes might even behave like that person. And like some persons have said, I don't know how scientifically proven this is, that during sexual intercourse, people exchange spirits.
Wow.
So,
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my viewers. Based on the time you are watching this, I welcome you all to yet another edition of Islam Talk Show. And today I have an interesting topic for review. And of course, I have two dynamic persons who will dwell more on this topic and throw more light on this topic. And of course, make you and I be able to learn from what we have today. And today's topic is what are the impacts of premarital sexual relationship on the mental health. I come again. What are the impacts of premarital sexual relationship on the mental health? So, like I said before, I have two dynamic persons that will dwell on the topic. I have your regular guest speaker, because he has been here before, and thank God he's here again. By name Mr.
go with us.
And I also have a beautiful lady who came all the way from where she came from to be here on the studio and of course dwell on this topic, and she's by name
Glory Joe.
so you're welcome to the show.
Thank
And once again, you're still welcome.
Thank you for
You're
having me.
welcome. And please, before we get started, please don't forget to always comment, share this video, and of course, subscribe for more videos. Thank you. So, sir, based on the topic on ground, what's your own intake in the impact of premarital sexual relationship on the mental?
Okay, talking about pre-marital sexual relationship. So pre there means it's happening before marriage, and as we all know, relationships first of all starts from the mind. We admire someone from the mind, and then from the mind we begin to imagine things, build them up, and they become feelings. So everything that has to do with relationship starts from the mind. And I think that premarital sex has a whole lot to do on the mental health of individuals. A whole lot of things which dwelling on firstly the psychological part of it. Let's say someone indulges in premarital sex with a person, and at the end they do not get married. They don't get married. Most of them end up having some, should I say, it becomes nightmarish for them. So depending on the kind of sexual relationship they had with a person before, so they carry that image in their head that even in future, when they are indulged in sexually with another person, the image is trapped in their head. So it has a whole lot of impact. So first of all, I would say it's psychological impact on their mental health, and secondly, I would say it has a, a physio spiritual kind of impact. Like they say that when you have sex with someone, you kind of become one with the person. So depending on how, or should I say, depending on how close you were on the relationship, so you begin to think like that person. You sometimes might even behave like that person. And like some persons have said, I don't know how scientifically proven this is, that during sexual intercourse, people exchange spirits.
Wow.
So I think that. But we hear that,
Yeah,
so
we
I
hear
think
that a lot.
that's another kind of impact on. So depending on the spirit that that person is carrying.
You will just be collecting different spirits.
Okay, I hope you only play not involved.
I think in premarital sex you cannot exchange the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit can only be exchanged in a marital sexual intercourse. That's same on that one.
Yeah, that's
So for now, I'll just talk about that. The psychological effect and the spiritual effect on the mind. It all happens in the mind.
Please, over to you.
Okay, like you said, premarital sexual relationship. When you hear pre, it has to do before, yes, before the event. So, you know, a lot of people engage in what they don't even have deep definition about, which is affecting lots of the youth and teenagers. It goes way down in affecting them emotionally, psychologically, like you said, and even mental damage. Yes, because it also affects them to self-abuse. Some of the teens today that are committing suicide, I think part of this is also the reason why they are committing suicide. Because by the time they have been involved with, should I say, the wrong persons, or I don't know, or a mistake, and what has been left, that mark, a print has been left, and they carry on that, and they cannot even deal with it in marriage, or cannot even get themselves to be married because of what has been happening. And it makes them look down on themselves, blame themselves, and even think of suicide, which is very bad. So for the emotional damage, I think it has to do with, also it goes in line with the suicidal thoughts, and also making them feel like they are not loved or wanted. You get, because most things will always want to blame family, environment for their decisions. But like you said, it grows from your mind. So whatever decision anybody makes is from you. Sorry, please. Whatever decision anybody makes is from you. So if if I don't know, I would think that for this your talk show, it's really a nice thing that we are letting it out to the teens, the youth, even adults most times are facing these things, but they cannot express it to anybody. If we can have an outreach to educate and also impact on the younger ones, on the effects
what
of
we're doing now.
the, yes, it really go a long way. Most people use scriptures to back up this premarital sex thing before going into marriage, which is not the main thing. So for now, that is the little I have to chip in.
So far, like from what you said, talk about suicide, like the girl committing suicide.
Even
Now,
a guy, not sure.
well,
Yes.
yeah, okay, both gender committing
Yes.
suicide. Now, does it really mean that I mean, like when a guy or a girl must have had period of sex, and at some point there is a breakup, at that point can lead to suicide because because I feel maybe when a guy is fly a girl and maybe that girl actually trusted the guy, had feeling like, man, this one is my guy. Then at some point, the guy just left the girl. Then at that point, you can start developing.
Not only that, after, like he said, not all sexual relationship ends in marriage, and that is traumatic enough for somebody to go into suicide.
Wow.
Yes. How can somebody put into her mind into loving somebody, growing things, and then have going to a sexual relationship with the person and come to realize that, let's say, the person is married or getting married, like what you see on social media, like it's painful, and you see them thinking of suicide, which is very bad.
But suicide isn't the best option.
It's not.
Let's see it from this angle
But
too.
people don't have a love it.
You know, when we talk about pre-sexual relationships, in this era of social media, a lot of happens and it affects our young persons mentally. Let's say two persons, they willingly agreed to indulge themselves and have sex, and one party ends up taking a video.
Okay.
And before the other party knows, the video is via online. That's traumatic.
Yes.
So see, and that only happens in premarital sexual relationship. Because I'm not sure a husband will
do that.
Will video the wife and then.
But should that happen in marriage? Because maybe let us assume the wife has an issue with with her husband.
No matter the issue, wives and husbands will never post their their sex. So you see that this thing happens between unmarried persons that they want to get back at each other. So it's very traumatic. Like she has said, that kind of scenario can lead to
Suicide.
mental disorder. Depending
Yes,
on if the person is
mental,
not strong
yes.
enough, suicide comes in. So that's one of the effect that it has. People need to, before they agree to be involved in this, which I do not advise them to, they
Yes.
should have a very advanced state of mind. You should know that premarital sex is risky. We're not talking about scriptures here. We're
Yes.
talking about normal. It's very, very risky. It has a lot of effects on you emotionally, mentally, and psychologically. So, are you able to manage video leaks? Are you able to manage news that
Suicidal
are you
thoughts.
able to manage breakups? So, these are the things that people should consider because they come with those kind of effects.
Right about now, we're going to take a very short break. When we're back, we're going to know if premarital sexual relationship is actually good for us. And of course, I will still have if you go with us, and of course, please blow the joke in the show. Thank you.